It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC North. It's the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback. And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now. Because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys as competitors, they'll take their lumps early, but they'd rather be on the field. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan. I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. 2nd and 10. An inside give to Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well. You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. To the air with McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback. His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. But this guy, he is hard to corral. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable. Looking to throw is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. McCarthy off the play fake. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This is 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
3rd and long as a defender, all you want to do is guard the 1st down line. Make sure that everything stays in front and run up there and make the tackle. They did everything exactly right except making the tackle the running back, and he ends up finding a way to pick up a 1st down. Brandon, that play just should not happen.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. To throw, Williams. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Working out of the gun, Williams. That is caught. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
From the gun, here's Williams. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. To about the 35, second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Here's McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 34. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Up the middle, Jones. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes. But the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's Williams. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air, Williams. And again back to Kmet. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Throwing is Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To throw, it's Williams. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Swift will score. Touchdown, Chicago. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing is McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Montez Sweat with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Chicago. DJ Moore, 77 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Now the point after try for Santos. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Now McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw McCarthy. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at about the 28. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return, and the Bears take over. The visitors' offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 44 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefit to that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Play action. Now Williams. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The big man get the oxygen tank ready. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands. And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives. So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again. And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, now McCarthy. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Justin Jefferson from 3 yards out. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster. Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is. Now the try here for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles. So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later. Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw is Williams. Escaping the pressure right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Now they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Starting the ball inside the 5, start on the 5 on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
To the air with McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. McCarthy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Throwing again, McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will do it for this first half. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Williams. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read. and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's the option. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Dancing to his left. Williams loses the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So that is not the way you want to begin the half when you're only up by 1 score. A turnover right away.
And my guess that in the locker room, that's what the defensive coordinator on the other side was saying. We've got to find a way to get the football back for our offense. And they were able to do it.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Jalen Johnson able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now here's Ryan Wright now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. To throw, Williams. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Second and 7. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
On play action, here's Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. And again back to Komet. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. To the air, Williams. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He's got the connection to Moore. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run and then executed.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Throwing is McCarthy. That's to the sideline and incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Sticking with the pass, here's McCarthy. Addison hauls it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now McCarthy. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Eluding the pressure. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 5. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Looking to throw is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. McCarthy off the play fake. This one swung out here to Jones. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A give to Jones. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Jefferson moving in motion left. On play action. Now McCarthy. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That play ended for a net loss thanks to Javon Hargrave.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
To throw, it's Williams. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Working out of the gun, Williams. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. From the 38 now, here's a 2nd down and 6. Looking to throw. Williams. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 87 yards rushing now on 23 carries so far. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Operating from the gun, Williams. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Santos' kick is up and through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Here's McCarthy. This complete to Jones. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now. To the air with McCarthy. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Jalen Johnson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
A rough play there for the first-year quarterback, and that's a skill he'll pick up as he gains more experience in the NFL. Recognizing situations where he might have to take the sack and finding a way to minimize the lost yardage in those situations. But for now, a big loss is the result of this one.
Here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Now 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, it's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Now 2nd down and a few inches. Going quickly out wide to Moore. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Santos now to add the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. So now after the clutch field goal, he's back out there to boot it away in what's now a tie ball game. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Here comes second down. An inside give to Jones. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So it's the Bears who will have the first chance to win this thing as we are underway here in overtime. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
113 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Once again, it's Swift. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now a first throw here in overtime. Room here to run. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
On play action, here's Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a handoff to Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Throwing is Williams. Over the middle, it's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
So from the 26-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Here's Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. To the air, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now the point after try for Santos. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was all capped off by Cole Kmet with a touchdown catch. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. His throw incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's 2nd down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Throwing is McCarthy. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. He lets one go, deep for Addison. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
4th down and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise, but how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
So it's the Bears who come away with a victory, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, he really threw the ball well, didn't he? Well over 300 yards passing, hit on 3 touchdown passes, and he's delivering the ball in rhythm all game long.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.